Hello, dear students. This is me, your teacher, Sarfarhad. Welcome to my channel FMMT Medical Tutorial. Today, the topic which I have selected to teach you is cell cycle. Okay, what is cell cycle? Cell cycle. So, first, the definition of cell cycle. All those events or chain of events which takes place in a cell when it has to prepare itself for division, and finally it divides after the completion of a cell cycle. In a simple words, I would like to tell you that what is cell cycle. Okay, cell cycle, it indicate the events actually which takes place in a cell so that it prepare itself for division and finally it divides. Okay, and my previous slide I defined the cell cycle. So in this slide I'll be telling you about the three important steps of cell cycle. Okay, cell cycle is an event or a group of event which takes place in a cell. Okay, so means simply a cell cycle, it indicates the events which takes place in a cell. Okay, as we know that it is a cycle, so cycle mean the events actually. So it will end at the point where it starts. And the third step is when a newly cell is formed, it will enter into the cell cycle so that it divide one more time. Okay, dear student, and this slide I will tell you about the phases of cell cycle. Okay, so cell cycle, it has been divided into two main or major phases. The one is interphase and the second one is M or mitotic phase. Okay, interphase is a phase in which actually growth takes place. Okay, and the past time it was considered as that this is a resting phase, but actually after that it was proved that no, many activities or events actually takes place in interphase, but we cannot see that from outside. Okay, and interphase, after interphase we have the subphases of that interphase, which are given G1 phase, which stands for gap 1 phase. Here G1 does not stand for growth actually. Okay, it stands for gap 1. Okay, and S stands for synthetic phase. Actually here synthesis takes place. And G2 actually stands for gap 2 phase. And the second major phase is mitotic phase, and in this phase actually division of the cell takes place. And there are two main phases of it, or minor phases of it. One is and the second one is cytokinesis. Okay, karyokinesis means the division of nucleus, and karyokinesis means the division of cytoplasm, and karyokinesis will be followed by cytokinesis. Okay, this is the picture of cell cycle. Okay, and this cycle actually indicate the events, okay, which takes place in a cell when it has to prepare itself for cell division and finally it divides. This cycle indicate many phases. Okay, the first phase of it is G1 phase, and this phase actually complete in 8 hours or more than 8 hours. Actually in this phase cell growth takes place, means cell grow in the size. Okay, what are the requirement for growth which takes place in the G1 phase. Okay, following are the requirement or needs for the growth to takes place in G1 phase. One is the synthesis of a RNA, which is very important because this helps in the production of some type of protein in G1 phase, which are important for the function as well as energy purposes of the cell. And the second point is or requirement is the synthesis and accumulation of protein, which is also important for the cell to grow in size. And the third very important requirement is the production of ATP from nutrient, which is also important for the growth to takes place in G phase. Now come to the S phase of cell cycle. S phase actually stands for synthetic phase, and in this phase actually DNA replication takes place, and this phase takes 6 to 8 hours in its completion. Okay, DNA replication means the division of DNA into its copies. Mean in G1 phase you will have 2 in number of chromosome, and here in the S phase it will get doubled, and same the DNA you will have 1 copy and that will get double into 2 copies in the S. Now come to the G2 phase. And in G2 phase, cell will also grow in size, and in this phase cell will also produce some protein, but that protein which will be produced by the cell and in this phase will be different from that protein which will be produced by it in the G1 phase. Here in G2 phase, the organelles of the cell will also get duplicated. Either cell organelles will replicate into 2 other organelles, or new organelles will be produced, and in this phase ATP synthesis will also takes place, which will be important for the growth to takes place in this phase of the cell cycle. Now dear students, come to the M phase or mitotic phase of cell division, and in this phase cell will divide into 2 daughter cell. Mitosis phase or mitotic phase, it take 1 to 3 hours to complete, and in mitotic phase there are 2 subphases which are karyokinesis and cytokinesis. And in karyokinesis what will actually takes place, the nucleus of the cell will be divided, okay, and cytokinesis is the second phase of mitotic phase, and in which cytoplasm of the cell will divide. It means mitotic phase mean that cell will divide into 2 daughter cell, mean new cell will produce in this phase. Thank you my dear students. Goodbye. Dear students, I hope you would have got the main idea about cell cycle. If you want to know about my more lectures, so please subscribe my channel and press the icon button so that you must get the new message of my new video. Thank you and best of luck.